So let me explain this draft prospect. I know that it's going to be hard to retain DJ Jones, but why not you develop another player like DJ Jones? And I'll explain the player I'm referring to. So we're going to go to that right now. So, okay, Tennessee's defensive tackle, Matthew Butler. So I looked into the film, the highlights, and a lot of different stuff, and I'm seeing that he's got strength. He can burst off, and he can definitely get to the quarterback. He's a good run stopper, but he can definitely create pressure and havoc for a defensive tackle. So he's about 6'4", at least close to 300 pounds, but he's like, 299 pounds. But dude, the guy's got raw potential. I'm looking at him as maybe a day 3 option for the 49ers to consider. I had to look more into the film. He kind of fits exactly what kind of defensive scheme we're trying to run. He's a bit almost 300 pounds, which we covet the most on most of our defensive linemen, is at least 305 or less. And this guy kind of gives you a good guy that you can develop and put in the rotation, or maybe you develop into another DJ Jones, who DJ Jones showcased in a year or two that he became an ascending player, and now he's hitting the market for a big contract. Not bad for a guy we drafted in the 6th round out of Ole Miss. But why not we do another player like that, So you look at Matthew Butler, the potential, the ceiling's off the roof. For any of you 49er faithfuls, if you want to check out the highlight, I will put it under the description, but I'll explain why DJ Jones wouldn't be such a big loss like the way you guys look at it. I think you draft a guy like Matthew Butler, you develop him, and then maybe you'd be able to get a guy exactly like DJ Jones, but picture him just about 6'4", a 6'4" version of DJ Jones. A guy who can be explosive off the line, a guy who can be disruptive, effective, and he's gotten better. He became a late bloomer out of Tennessee, and he's definitely a guy we can definitely consider drafting. So it's like, we look at those kind of traits, we can develop him. He'd be nice on the rotation, and he can definitely be a guy in a couple of years who could be ascending just like DJ Jones. So maybe retaining DJ Jones wouldn't be as bad of an idea, but if he hits the market like everybody else, it is what it is. So I wouldn't be losing sleep as most fans, but I think, retaining him is a priority, but it's going to cost too much. So it's not a guy that I'd be like, oh shit, we should have retained him. No, it's not like a DeForest Buckner type of situation, but I do like DJ Jones. DJ Jones to me is a very good player. I like him, but I understand the business. He's priced himself out. So you're going to have to find somebody to replace his role, and you can get somebody like a Matthew Butler in the draft range, maybe between the 4th and 5th round draft pick, and you'd be able to develop this kid nicely and make him fit your system. Chris Cassero can coach this guy up, and then maybe in a year or two, you might see this kid flash, and then you might just look at yourself and say, oh, we got ourselves another DJ Jones for another couple of years, and then there you go. Let me know what you guys think in those comments. As always, CG Ruthless Sports is out, and you already know. Go Niners.